What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and it's no surprise that I don't like commies. I don't care for their ideology. I don't care for people that perpetuate their ideas. I don't care for corporations that enable that ideology. I don't care for Twitch streamers who promote it. I don't care for Twitter users who think it's harmless, who take zero time to actually investigate the atrocities that it has wrought on this world. I also don't care for what the Google Workers Union, which reads like some sort of weird communist group, now going directly after YouTubers. This is employees at Google smearing YouTubers and demanding deplatforming. I'm not kidding. Make sure you leave a like on this video. By the way, also, please consider subscribing. I mean, I put my cat Annie on camera for you. There's a little red subscribe button down below. I'm also doing a live stream in probably, within an hour of you seeing this video right here on this channel that I'd love to see you at. Now, every major corporation decided to put out a statement on everything that happened at the Capitol. They all read the same. They're all boring and milquetoast. Thank you, Axe body spray. Thank you, expensive ice cream, for disavowing. I appreciate that. Now get back to making your products so people can consume them. Our statement yesterday at the coup attempt at the Capitol, of course it wasn't that. It was a riot in areas that I would agree with. I don't need to. That part is irrelevant. What I want to talk about is what they say about YouTubers, given these are the people we work for. YouTube must no longer be a tool for fascist recruitment and oppression. How exactly does YouTube oppress? A lot of these people use this type of language, fascism, oppression. They don't really understand what it's like. I mean, they probably wrote, look, the average salary at Google is probably more than $100,000. All right, this was probably written on a $900 smartphone and drafted on a $4,000 Mac laptop. All right, your words ring hollow to me. Anything less is a countenance to deadly behavior from gamer. Like, they literally said it was deadly. And as Sophia Norwitz points out here, wait, where is that? Oh, I think I lost it. I was basically shout out to all the thousands that lost their lives in GG. And then they bring up New Zealand, and then they bring up Trump and Jair Bolsonaro. Alphabet, in failing to act, has done tremendous damage to thousands of victims of mean words. Every day without change is complicity. Imagine having these people work for you. I mean, look, I've run my own company for, I don't know, almost 10 years now. Before that, I had the ability to hire and fire at my last job. And like, if I had my employees openly saying this crap about my company, they would just be fired. It would just, like, hey, go do your activism somewhere else. I'll find somebody else who, is interested in working. Alphabet, in failing to act, we remain committed to building change in our workplace for the betterment of all. You mean getting paid more is what you want. Building power for the working people. Again, average salary at Google, I'm going to guess, let's see. I guarantee it's over 100K. 69 to 600K a year, 98 to 180K a year. So well over $100,000. I mean, of course. So this is coming from the elites. Let's take a look at some of the replies. This tweet is going good for like one sentence. They do know that GG was something of a left-wing thing, right? I get people focused on Milo, but the guy had little to no connection with the movement and just took full advantage of the void that needed to be filled. Okay, so what are we going to do about it? Censorship is bad, actually. Google Censorship Union. You all put this one real far down, huh? I mean, this is... Hi, Google employees. Are you aware that there was nothing deadly actually attached to Gamergate? That's from Brad Glasgow. There is literally nothing. I'd be like, how stupid. This is who I have to listen to when, you know, they're essentially my boss. These people are my boss. Now, they feel like it's an important thing to be able to dissent against their employer. Okay. Google seems to allow that. So I will dissent against my employer. You know, YouTube has provided me with amazing opportunities that I wouldn't have had in the private sector, probably. Certainly not in terms of the amount of free time I get and the amount of, you know, brand building I've been able to do. That said, and I guarantee you, by the way, these are the minority of Google employees. That said, these people are deranged. Their opinions are deranged. Their words about YouTubers is dangerous. Why? Okay, if there was an actual fascist on YouTube, point them out. There's probably like 3, right? The problem is this word has no meaning anymore. The problem is this word gets thrown around with basically anyone who disagrees with the mainstream narrative. They'll get called this. We saw this in the language that they used the T word to describe people yesterday. People comparing, I mean, just people keep using like bigger and bigger word, like not fancier, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they exaggerate and exaggerate and exaggerate until the original term has no meaning. And the reason that this is scary is if you look at what happened yesterday, you know, a lot of the people there seem to be attached with a line of thinking, a group that had been largely banned off the internet. When you talk about banning ideas, that's the kind of stuff you get. I don't understand how moronic. Listen, idiots at Google, not my viewers. The best disinfectant for bad ideas is sunlight. This is like literally proven over and over and over and over again. There are a lot of people that listen to Alex, for example. Love him. I find him very entertaining, but I also know some of the stuff he says is wildly inaccurate. Some of the stuff is true. I guess given a long enough timeline, he's almost always right. But the fact of the matter is, people have lost the ability to critically think, so then they think that others have too, and that they should be the arbiter of what is true and what is allowed on the internet. And this is a frightening idea. We're seeing what happened in DC already being used to justify a wide swath of censorship. It will be used to justify for years to come new, you know, rules about what you can say and what you can't say online. I mean, they literally shut down the president of the United States. There's nothing preventing them from doing it to you too. I mean, if they'll do it to the president, and there's literally, I mean, what else do you want? Do you think they care about you? Do you think they care about me? Heck no. Not if I'm not towing the line. And what we saw yesterday were thousands of people that felt like they were unheard, right? This is the same thing they said about people this summer, except it was okay when they did it. These people felt like they weren't getting heard. They were banished from the internet. I mean, what do you think it does to ban Trump for his most stringent supporters who believe everybody's out to get him? Do you think that makes them more or less entrenched in that belief? Exactly. All it does is galvanize somebody. We've went through this a million times with these ban waves here on YouTube, and every time I say the same thing, I implore others to pick up the mantle on this, or the stick on this as well. Sunlight is the best disinfectant for bad ideas. If you hide them, they cannot be debunked. I'm not going to go onto like deep in the depths of some alt tech website to find an idea to debunk. If it had 100,000 views on YouTube and was wildly accurate, guess how many people would be making videos about it? But tech doesn't understand that. They think that they can just ban somebody and that idea goes away. This is wildly dangerous. This is how you end up with underground movements. This is how you end up with, you know, whisper networks and all sorts of crazy stuff. And it is far better to have it out in the public for everyone to see so that it can be dealt with and it can be mocked if it's crazy. It can be debunked. This is not the way. And what these communist Google workers want is to enact even more censorship on a platform that's nearly impossible to not toe the line on, to not just regurgitate the mainstream narrative. If people wanted to hear the mainstream narrative regurgitated, they'd watch the Tonight Shows. That's why YouTube promotes them so heavily. This is a dangerous statement from Google employees and a slanderous one about my fellow coworkers here on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.